See why? Okay, so now you should probably hear me now. My microphone. Sometimes my microphone, for some reason, goes to my microphone in my camera. So once again, let's try it again. Welcome back, Reds family. We're going to talk about, again, the badge, the blood, the legacy, this week in general. Massive situations coming in full. Get your popcorn ready. I see Baz is in the house. Big up, brother. We're not playing around anymore. Florian Wirtz, one of the most coveted young players in Europe, has chosen Anfield over Munich, over Madrid, over Manchester. Let that sink in for a second, my people. Big up John Conway. Big a minute, my brother. Definitely good to see John Conway. I hope that you're well. And we didn't get outbid. And even if we had, I don't think it would have mattered. We didn't get outmaneuvered. We laid the plan down for Wirtz's family and the direction that we're going, showed the vision, and the lad said yes. But one chapter opens and maybe another one closes because our vice captain, our iron left back, Andy Robertson, might be on his way out. There's some split opinions on that one. I am more in the camp of keeping Robbo as a part of this club. If we are going to lose Robbo, and I would prefer losing Tsimikas over Robbo, and that's not a knock against Tsimikas. Tsimikas has been a very, very loyal servant to this club, but we'll talk about that more in a bit. But his contract's winding down. We have Kerkez on the way, eventually going to be signed and moving in on that left back position. And finally, we'll wrap up with what the people want, which is some cheers, some jeers, and some rumors. You've got questions, we've got fire, so let's get into this. Big up to Lady B in the house. Big up to Bonkers, by the way. Hope that everyone's well, and I hope that we are ready for this episode. So let's just get into it. We're going to start off the show with Florian Wirtz, Liverpool's 116 million man. All right. That's a lot to say right there. 116 million. It's a wild situation, but, Florian Wirtz, we've done it. This deal is agreed. Florian Wirtz is going to wear Liverpool red, and it could eventually cost us 116 million pounds of add-ons. That's not just a signing. That's a flag planted in the middle of Europe, in the middle of England especially, that says Liverpool are back, and we're not buying to compete. We're buying to dominate. We're hopefully going to be building upon this so that we can build upon a dynasty. And I said it, yes, a dynasty in England and also in Europe. I have my eyes on both of those prizes. We've got some work left to be done in the Champions League. We did well in the beginning. We've got to do better. We ended up losing to the eventual champions PSG, but still the same. It does make a difference. So now look, the numbers speak volumes. Since debuting in 2020, he's not just been good. Wirtz has been elite. 44 Bundesliga assists, the third most since he started, and he's still only 22 years old. Every other player in that top bracket is pushing 30. That tells you all you need to know about the ceiling of this player. Not only that, it tells you a lot about what you need to know about how this player has developed so incredibly quickly to be at a high notch level. But this isn't just about stats, because I know there are those that don't like to hear about stats. This is also about fit. Arne Slot didn't just say we want Wirtz. He showed him exactly where he fits in our reshaped midfield. That 10 role is what we're going to most likely be giving him. The new creative axis, basically. The modern day magician. Maybe a rebirth of the magician, maybe, as a red from and we don't just score or assist. He'll dictate. He'll utilize the tempo of the games, and also we do have some highs and we have some lows with this edition. And it's a low, but it's because we got to figure out something. The dilemma is, and I want we don't have a panel, so I want to say hopefully we might have a panel soon, but for right now it's just me. So I would like to say, hopefully you can weigh in on this for us and for me, I should say, and that is, if Wirtz plays central in the 4-2-3-1, then what happens to Bosley? What happens to McAllister? Can you really fit them all in to this lineup? It's a really big question. It's something that I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. I guess you're my panel for today. So please do tell me how you feel about it. I have even a graphic that we can utilize, and I was going to use it so we can kind of put it together ourselves. So here, let me bring this down. I'm going to bring this up. Bring this up so you can see it. So we're obviously not going to do a 4-3-2-1. We'll go with what? A 4-1. I mean, 4-3-3. We're not going with. We're going 4-2-3-1. Let's say. I honestly do want to see us. I think we're going to see a tactical change. I think personally we're going to move on to a 4-4-2, which will eventually have. It'll help make the most out of our forwards and still be able to utilize our wings on that. Okay, Lady B. I will send that. I'll send that to you in a second. If I get my phone, give me 1 second. I don't have my phone. Okay, 1 second. Let me see what is going on. Apparently the link isn't working. So I will try again putting that in there. But formation, let's settle on a formation for us to work on. 4-2-3-1, a 4-4-2. What is it that you guys think is going to be the case? Let's see why. For some reason that link is not. They changed up my link. So again, what do you think is going to be the formation? I just put the link in for the brethren as well. Be able to be getting it shortly. Big Ali, how are you?
Good, mate. Good.
Maybe not. Lee, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good. Everything good, yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay. Let me double check what's going on. I think he's here, but I think my audio is should be good. Right. What I was going to say is, let's go 4-2-3-1. Let's off the rip, let's put off the rip, let's put let's see. Okay. Florian Wirtz in as our okay. Let's see if I can. Lee, are you there by chance?
Yeah, can you hear me?
For some reason, I guess my internet is lagging. I am going to. Are you there, Lee?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
For some reason, yeah. For some reason, I guess my internet is not cooperating today, so it's like lagging or something.
Okay.
I don't think if I log in and log out, I don't think it will drop the stream. Hopefully it doesn't. But I can hear. Hopefully those in the chat can hear me too. What I was going to say is I'm trying to put together something of an idea of what we're going to do with this Florian Wirtz and how to fit in Sposali, fit in Callister. I'm going to see about how we're going to do that. So hopefully you can hear me still. But what I was going to say is, who do you think is going to fill out the rest of our roster? I think obviously Al's going to be in goal. Let's see. Ali will be in goal. Okay. Hey, Lee. If you're, I'm gonna log in and log back in. I think.
Okay.
Lagging a bit.
Okay.
Oh wait, okay. Okay, hopefully this is a little bit better. For some reason I am lagging. But people, for your patience. For some reason, I don't know why it's lagging so. I'm trying to do my best in making this. For some reason, it is not cooperating. Okay, there you go. That's easy enough. There are problems, but my YouTube has gone haywire too. Lady B is saying, okay. I don't know what is going on with the StreamYard today. Hopefully it's better. Are you there, Lee? You can hear me? Sorry about that.
Yeah.
People appreciate you. All right. Let's try this once again. Let's try it again. Basically, what I was trying to put was a team that represent us in these games. Let's try to put together a first game scenario team, starting 11. And I was thinking you could help me out with that. So I can bring up the actual scene, and we can put this together.
It's not letting you put your graphic up.
It's not letting me put anything up. It's acting all weird today. It doesn't like me today.
Well, it's been messing up a little bit in recent days as well. There's been a little bit of trouble in like a few days ago as well. People were having, I think.
Questions. All right, so I'm going to do a 4-2-3-1. Okay. So, you think is going to obviously? I think Konate will start out of all the backs. I think that's an assurance. This little triangle of Ali, Konate, and Virgil, I think, is a pretty much assurant thing. When it comes to our left back, it is a little bit of a weird situation. Would you have Robbo start, or would you have Kerkez starting?
Kerkez. If we've got Kerkez starting, awesome, yeah.
Interesting. Would you have Connor Bradley starting, or would you have Frimpong starting?
Oh, it depends on the opponent, I suppose. But I'd go for Frimpong to start the season off because we haven't seen him yet. I'd be eager to see Frimpong. We have seen Bradley before, so I'll pick Frimpong.
Okay. In this, obviously, you're going to have Salah starting on right. This question right here is going to be interesting. Yeah, Wirtz up here. If you're not, for those that it's going to be going, okay, I understand that. If you think Diego's going to be going, I can understand that one too. Why I think the number /9 role, I think, has to exist or should exist. Because if you were to hypothetically put McAllister there, let's put Florian at 9/10 role, and then Gravenberg, and you can play on the mark. Yeah, I know. Having some difficulty. It's a little bit. Hopefully, it picks up pretty soon here. I don't know why it's doing that. But Spark as the and then maybe, just maybe, whether you are a Lucho or Cody fan, let's say you go with I personally would go Lucho over Cody. This would be the starting lineup I would like. Now, if this was the starting lineup, would you be against? I don't know what is up with my internet. Lee, would this lineup?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I could go with that lineup, definitely. I think that would be a decent lineup.
I'll bring it up full screen too, by the way, for people to see. This would be the lineup I would go with. I was trying to put together a roster for the first game, and going off the sense that I don't have any additions made or anything. This is the lineup I'd like to see. I don't think this is a bad lineup, and I think this actually could be one of our most productive and productive lineups. Even though you Gravenberg, down the pivot together, Grav and Sposlai. Is it clicking? Where are those that are out there saying that they could, or they're looking at this maybe happening? There was some that were saying.
Yeah, that lineup's scary for our rivals, defo.
It would be, right?
Yeah, for sure. Sure, that would frighten me if I was an opposition manager or player looking at that lineup. I'll tell you that for nothing.
The techno troubles. That lineup, Lee?
Yeah, that's a good lineup. Yeah, I really like it. I think that's an excellent lineup for the first game. I think that would look sweet. I think we'd be great. We could move it round. There's a few different positions. We could move them round as well, isn't there? Like, yeah, it's it's exciting, isn't it, to see what we're going to do, formation-wise and selection-wise and team-wise.
Yeah, I know that I'm having some internet issues for some reason. My is not operating one. Oh my goodness. So then people, apologies for the internet. The stream extremely. It's unfortunate because I did have a really good show lined up. Really good show lined up. So hopefully it does hold out for me to get the show in. But I know that for right now, try to get it together for you guys. It's acting really weird. It's not letting me do all the things I need to do. It's like seconds behind on everything. I'm just going to go into some of the other points. Return probably show. If you want to see that, definitely tune in for that. So I'll just hop in the meeting so that we'll get that accomplished today. Go from there and say, hopefully have a better weekend for all of us as we try to situation. I wanted to talk basically, and I hope that you can hear me. I wanted to talk about Andy Robertson. There were Mr. Assistant, Mr. No Nonsense, our vice captain, engine, and yet this might be the end of the road at Liverpool for Robbo, and I'm sad to say that. Apparently want him as a player priority for Diego Simeone's rebuild, especially with Ryan Neal and as Porteta, both on expiring contracts. And let's be clear, this isn't some random rumor. Talks are active, is what it is. Talks are active, and Robertson firmly on. Now here's the situation. Rob is 31 years old, so he does have, I believe, 2 years contract. Still is a matter of what kind of money is it going to take for Atletico Madrid to woo Robbo from us, and also it's worth the money. I don't think it really is worth the money. Isn't about the money. It's going to sound weird, but realistically think is that if this can pave the road for an actual transition or a transfer of Julian Alvarez, then we're talking. However, if this is just Atletico Madrid trying to get a quick buy and get a absolute monster, different story. So I get preparing for the future. He's still a Premier League champion, so respect him for those people out there. Some disrespect I hear. But he'll be entering on a year of his contract very soon. We've already agreed a fee of Bournemouth. Milos Kerkez, 20 years old, dynamic, relentless, and yes, clearly long-term Robbo's throne. So the big question, realistically carry both of the players next season? Does it mean that you would be confident or okay with having Tsimikas continue on as a backup for Kerkez? That's a really big question. You've got a player in Kerkez who's coming in with tons of promise. And not only tons of promise, we've promised him minutes as well. And then you've got Robbo, who made, let's say, make no mistake, he is capable and still capable of doing what we need out of our left back position. That's probably in a reduced starting role, meaning the number of starts you give him. So out of 38 games, maybe you give him 25 league starts. So, and at this age, that might be the best thing for him. Liverpool pivoting to youth. How do you balance legacy with evolution? That's the big question. You know, I know people will always throw out that old, oh, well, we're talking about FC and all the other stuff. That has nothing to do with it at all. It's more so the chemistry, pick up the team, are important monitor and weigh out, I believe. So let's not forget Robbo what he means to this football club. You know, obviously signed from Hull City, for just $8 million and an add-on in 2018. Formed arguably the most feared fullback duo in Europe, beside Trent Alexander-Arnold. Friends, 200 assists, countless battles down the touchline. We all can remember the countless, the iconic memory of him, you know, eyeing up Messi or laughing in Pickford's face. These are all very, very vibrant memories. And I think that he has an understanding with Virgil van Dijk. He has a relationship with Virgil van Dijk that they are able to trust each other as being the backbone of our back line. But again, I'll be honest, his form has dipped. Injuries have crept in, some that are not necessarily hamstring injuries or muscle injuries or something like that. Impact injuries, let's be honest. His offensive impact slightly dulled. Defensively, been caught out a couple of times, more frequently than we'd like. In the first half of last season, he was rotated a lot with Tsimikas. Would have been unthinkable. That would have been unthinkable just the last 2 years, because there were times when no matter how Robbo played, got the minutes. Question now becomes, does Robertson, does he accept a reduced role? Does he mentor Kerkez and finish his career at Anfield gracefully? This question now becomes a big, big question for all of us to have to answer. And most importantly, Robbo's going to have to answer this. And that's a very, very tough situation for a player that has so many great memories. So does he take a full step? Maybe his final big move, he utilizes it to join a Champions League caliber side like Atletico, who would build their left side around him. And let's not pretend that's a bad look. It's a club with European pedigree. They contend for La Liga. One of the best defensive tacticians is in Europe, in Simeone. Fan base that would absolutely adore his work rate, his aggression, his commitment to the game. I don't have a panel for right this moment, but you're my panel out there. Should Liverpool sell Andy Robertson this summer while his value is still high, or give him a final season as a mentor to Milos Kerkez? I'm going to ask you in the chat if you can give me a 1 for selling and a 2 for keeping him. Give me a 1 for selling and a 2 for keeping. I'll put that into the link. 1 is for selling. 2 is to keep. 2 is to keep. Dara doesn't understand sometimes. Dara, it's called interacting with each other. You don't want to participate. It's not a poll, because I don't have poll efficiency. All I'm saying is 1 for selling, 2 for keeping. Tell me what you think. I'd like to know what exactly it is that you're. Since I don't have a poll, a panel, your panel. Tell me what you think. Is he worth selling, or is he worth keeping? Dara is saying that he is time to sell. He's answering, saying it is sell. Lady B is saying 2, but he doesn't. But she going. Okay. I think the real big question is too, what is the price? The price that we would have to pay, or we are on Robbo. We are speaking on Robbo. Ready, steady. Saying sell. A lot more sells than I thought it would be. To tell you the truth. A lot more selling than I thought it would be. Jimmy, there's plenty left in Robbo's tank. Okay, Jim. All right. It's interesting. Ready, Steady Cook says 1 for him or her, because he asked his best. Marque says he's been waiting for this day to come. It's time to sell. Dustin says to sell. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Interesting, because out of the two, if you had to decide Kerkez or Robbo, who would you sell in that case? That I would love to know that too. If you had to decide, so only one can go. we're not going to. We're bringing in Kerkez, great, but then we're still going to have left back coverage. We're most likely not going to utilize that as being someone from. We're not most likely going to utilize that as being someone like a youth academy player. The only way I sell both, as Mark A is suggesting, is if you were to be bringing in if you brought in Jedi, then I would be more on board to selling both players and allow for maybe even Robinson to start and Kerkez to still compete, and not both of them have both of the role one. Dara says he wants part of the team. Okay, that's Anthony Robinson. Marquez says sell both ideally. Simicast be the odd man out for Lady B. Dustin rates Simicast. Okay. Ready Steady says it's hard to say because Robbo is a leader and Simicast isn't the main guy, so I'd rather keep Robbo over keeping Simicast. Very true. Robbo is obviously one of our team leaders. Simicast, despite not being a quote-unquote team leader, still is a beloved character in the locker room. It's like he's one of Slavi, and he is certainly someone that brings a lot of and calm demeanor to the locker room. So it is interesting. I know that we want to see something, but even if, and again, just as Ready Steady Cooks just said, if Robbo leaves, who fills his leadership vacuum? Like, as in, he's not just a player; he's one of our core leaders. He's on and off the pitch. Players like Milner and Henderson, like, as in, it was a major thing when they left the team, despite them not having the levels that we needed from them on the pitch. There were still intangibles that they brought to the club that were very important. And now maybe Robbo will have to go the way of those kinds of great players. It's a real big question. Big up, Chris Angel in the house. Big up, Chris. Oh man. If we ever had if Chris and I were on a cop show, I would definitely be the good cop. Chris would be the bad cop. Chris would be the bad cop. But we would get things done though. We would definitely get things done. It's a real question though. It's a real question. Real question. And yes, leadership, Dara, leadership, as in who is the most likely. If Virgil wasn't the captain, obviously Trent was going to be the captain. But if Trent's not the captain, most likely it would have been Robbo, and Robbo is certainly he's the player that goes. He would be picked as being the captain. He would put the armband on before Salah. He put the armband on before even Ali. So when you question leadership, that's why I say, even though we have leaders in the locker room, I'm not doubting that at all. We have plenty of captains, but credit where credit's due. That's what I'm trying to say. And yet, there could be that question too. Trent wasn't captain material. Okay, I got you, Lady V. 8 million plus add 1. Excuse me. I don't know the price, Chris. I read the articles. I didn't see a price being put out there. I can find a price out there. But I will tell you this. There was something that this up. Let's see if this goes, if I can get this to work. But I didn't see, and that was the most important thing, is that what is the price that you get back for Robbo? What is the price you would like to get back for Robbo? Let me see. So Liverpool, Atletico Madrid is reportedly offering Liverpool a fee in the region of 10 to 12 million for Andy Robertson. This transfer is expected to be agreed upon soon, with Liverpool also closing in on a deal to sign Milos Kerkez from Bournemouth for around 45 million, potentially making Robertson, expendable. Robertson's current contract with Liverpool expires next summer, and he is also reportedly uncertain about his future with the club. So that's what it's looking like. 10 to 12 million is what apparently their the fee. What the fee is going to be in the range of. I don't know. I think if you were to get 10 million, would you go for 10 million for Robbo? $10 million for Robbo. I'm telling you, if we can work out something where we figure out some way to get Julian Alvarez involved in that deal, and we give up, obviously I'm not talking for a swap deal. I'm just talking about we put in for 10 million and we offer them 80 million pounds for Alvarez. I think that'd be a fair deal. You'd be getting a quality player in Robertson. We'd be getting I think my top choice for an actual player, and yeah, you would actually get something in return. The only thing about the reason why I'm not saying a swap deal, this is the Red Armchair Supporters, because nowadays with PSR, teams don't like to utilize if you're going to just buy the player and then I'll buy your player. So if there's two players you want to swap, give me 15 million pounds for, I don't know, 10 million pounds or 15 million pounds, whatever the numbers, 10 million pounds, let's say, for Robbo, and I'll give you 80 million pounds for Alvarez. That way, it technically, I understand it's like a swap deal, but it wouldn't be. If you want to add Darwin, 10 million for Robertson. Give me 60 million for Nunez, let's say, and that's all at cut deals, so that it ends up being something that's well worth their interest. And then after that, I'll buy Alvarez for 80 million, or I'll buy him for 90 million. Being that it sounds like a lot of money, but then again, I just had possibly 70 million come back to me in Nunez and I don't know if we'd have to give up both to make the deal work. But was that how far you'd go to get Alvarez? Is to give up both Robbo and Darwin? I know people are already pushing. Some people are pushing Darwin already out the door. I see some are agreeing with the same ending for Robbo to go maybe drive him to the airport and get on the plane with them. It's a question. It's a big question. Well, as long as I've got some type of internet connection, I'll take the next few minutes just to talk about the sheer fact of Real Madrid and the fact that we beat Real Madrid at something. And what we beat them at and what that is that we beat them to the signing of Wirtz. If the Wirtz signing is huge, and it is, then the context around it makes it massive, I think. The wage was an enormous wage. I get that. But this wasn't just a transfer. It was a battle with some top clubs, whether you're dealing with Bayern Munich, wanted him, and they thought it was just a natural assurance that he would be going to Bayern. Manchester City hovered over the deal as well. And we all know all the different levers that Manchester City pull and push to get things across the line. Some allegedly legal, others elsewise. But Real Madrid made a late push as well. But none of them landed the player that's going to eventually wear a red Liverpool kit. And that's not typical. Usually when Madrid come calling, players run. Let's be honest. Wirtz chose the project, the vision, the badge. You got to have respect for that. You got to have even more respect that Liverpool beat the Galacticos at their own game. Let's not forget, we just lost the race for Dean Huijsen to Real Madrid weeks ago. They came in when we thought we were pretty much the front runner for a little while, at least in that race. They came in, scooped them up with a £50 million offer. They had to obviously pay for them. But now we've returned serve and with a much bigger name. And here's what's wild. Wirtz is coming in as our third highest paid player, but he hasn't played a minute in red yet. But the confidence in this lad is sky high. This is a signal of intent. And what is normally a club that is looked at as being tightwads when it comes to transfers or spending money, it's not the case right now. Now, the number I've heard, though, is uniquely different than the number I initially heard being his salary. Initially, I heard he was only making 350 some odd thousand or something like that, which would have made him the second highest paid player on this team. Now the number that's coming out is more like 200, in the 200,000 range. I hear the birds chirping, so that must mean JK is with us. JK?
I'm cool, bro. What you saying?
So just trying to hold on here, man. I had some issues with the internet early on, and it was dropping out on me. It dropped me out once. So
technology, bro. That's 50 Cent and Justin Timberlake said.
Yeah, exactly. We had Lee for a little while, but Lee dropped out, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully Lee joins again. I'm going to ask you this question, JK. How important is it for Liverpool to start winning these transfer battles over the Madrids and City and Bayern? Not just for today, but for future perception.
For me, this signing is like a statement, marquee signing. You sent a message out. We're the big boys. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, hence why we, as a fan base and content creators, we don't really argue a lot. Why? Because our team is our talking for us. We're Liverpool Football Club, most successful team in England. And this Wirtz signing, bro, it's a long time coming, but it was worth the wait in a weird sort of way. I don't really want to say that, but we're just doing business once in 5 windows. So this is a proper marquee signing, big signing. People, I've seen the outrage from Bayern fans, bro. Bayern fans have never come in Liverpool's direction in any way, and I've seen them guys, fans of theirs, getting bitter. And
very bitter.
Very bitter, bro. And it's not just like, oh, okay, fair play, you got him. You know what I mean? This is like, they're going at us. Like, we've won 32 Bundesligas. Liverpool have only won 20. That sort of comments, bro. Comedy. And then Man City were bitter. Man United, Chelsea, they're all at it. We're Liverpool Football Club. And that's why I say Liverpool fans shouldn't argue between themselves. We've got all these guys at us. We need to stick together, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And bless up Jimmy, Bonkers, and Dara as well. Yeah, man.
That's wild that they're coming at us like that. That is so wild.
So mad.
I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to think how many Champions League titles they have.
They have 5.
They have 5 or 6.
Is it 5?
I think they have 6.
With us and Barcelona, then it's all us 3 on 6, then is it?
Yeah, they have 6.
Yeah, it's them and Barca. That's why I didn't want them to win it or Barca to win it this year.
The 2020 championship they won tied them with us.
KJ said they got 5, bro. I was thinking it was 5. That's what my initial thing was. I thought it was AC Milan 7.
Oh, well, that's including, okay, that's European Cup. That's why. They have 6 European Cup / Champions League titles. So, so maybe that's why.
That's why for me, next season, if you can get the Premier League and the Champions League, get us to 7. Same as AC Milan.
Yeah, before it was called, it was like they won 1974, 1975, 1976. Those teams were pretty historic. Three years in a row. And they won Champions Leagues in 2001, 2013, and 2000.
So 6 I got, yeah.
Technically 6, but I understand how you could think of it as being 5. But yeah, it's important, you know. Like, could Wirtz become? Do you think Wirtz is going to be our new poster boy, basically?
Yeah. He's going to be like you in Germany when you got trains there. They've got TVs on them. Most of their news is Liverpool based. Even in Berlin and stuff, like you'll see Jurgen Klopp. Liverpool have won the Premier League. They beat this team this weekend. You know what I mean? So Liverpool is, and then I seen a guy tweet yesterday, a Bayern fan. I don't know why he would even want to pick Liverpool. We've got nothing to worry about. This was pre-Wirtz signing for us sort of thing. This Bayern fan just saying, why would he even want to go to Liverpool? Like, you know what I mean? Us fans in Germany don't even view Liverpool. Bro, a lot of their fans know Liverpool because of Jurgen Klopp. And I even believe Wirtz noticed Klopp at Liverpool in that time he was growing up, watching football and stuff. 15, 16, 17 years old. Klopp would have been at Liverpool, so he would have took notice of that. And I think that would have played a part in his decision as well. Klopp's time at Liverpool.
Okay. Yes. They have won it 5 times, at least 5 times, but they do not have a rep. They don't have their own real Champions League trophy like us. There was a rule. There was a rule in the past that allowed clubs to keep the trophy, the Champions League trophy, if they won it 5 times altogether, or if they won 3 consecutive times in a row. That was a rule. But that rule changed in 2009. So now the winning club receives a full-size replica of the trophy, while the others remain in UEFA's custody. So, Barca, or excuse me, Barca. So teams like Bayern Munich have replicas. We're the only team. We're one of the only teams that has the actual trophy.
It's in Madrid, yeah.
Was
Milan,
that
maybe.
us in Madrid? Yeah, I believe us in Madrid. I don't think.
I think
Barcelona
Milan as well. No.
Maybe AC Milan. Maybe.
Milan have got more.
Oh, go on, say, bless, bro.
Big up.
Yeah, big up, boys, big up, man, big up the chat. Come on.
Yeah.
I'll go on there. There he is.
Wagwan.
What's
yeah,
that poster
let's
of,
see.
bro? I can't really see it properly.
So, we went to the parade, JK. So basically, there's a sign on top of it. Liverpool's now a 20-star attraction.
Oh, so that's the picture from there, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wicked.
Yeah.
That was on the building, was it, or something? I think.
Yeah, it's in the building. Yeah. I took a pic and I thought, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a nice room to it. 20-star attraction.
I like when we came off the train and walked straight out, and right in front of us on that big billboard was like Liverpool players.
Yeah.
Champions. That was cool.
Yeah. Hey, Lady B, big up everyone in the chat.
Yeah, pick up, Milante. We were just talking about I was having some internet problems or StreamYard problems earlier, so some of the episode got kind of messed up. Wasn't able to bring up some of the graphics and stuff I was going to bring up. I had some my usual stats and some really good pictures actually too. But I was asking questions about Wirtz, about this signing, about what it actually means to this club. I was asking too. I had originally posted up a actual formation and actual players and where they would play in that formation. What would be your midfield with Wirtz? I could bring up there was a midfield. I'll show you why I was asking that question, because this was like I saw this midfield be proposed on someone had Szoboszlai not being dropped, basically. And what was even more interesting is that they had Cody and Lucho not being in the lineup. They had him as a left. He has played on the left side.
Oh, not for me. I am going Gapco there.
Yeah.
I'm benching Szoboszlai.
Oh, you hate?
Yeah.
I know. I'm not hating, but
That's a no-brainer for JK. Disgusted.
Yeah.
Big up
Well,
for
for me,
Armchair.
Fair play to the lad. I think Szoboszlai, as I said before, he grew up in that Ronaldo Messi era where when you're young, you're like, oh, I love Ronaldo. Whichever team he plays for, I'm supporting them. He's that type of era of football, and he looks up to Ronaldo big time, bro. I think what it is with Szoboszlai, he's like what do you call it? I think he had that sort of thing where he had a girlfriend, didn't get married, or got married now, and I think that sort of plays part in football players' careers. It has an effect on it. Yeah, man. I think Szoboszlai just needs to toughen up. I think he's a He's a good engine on him, but I think
Mhm.
this word signing that's paid for me the dividends on Sabotson not being a creative player for us, if you know what I mean. Sabotson is a creative player, bro. He's got flicks in him, he's got touches in him, he's a top player. But I just feel this word signing just really threw everyone off their chair, you know, threw off everyone out their chairs. No one knew this was coming. But it showed me that Sabotson is not going to be used as that attacking option. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'll play Darwin Núñez in front of Wirtz, bro.
I think I'll do. Yeah.
Do it now, bro.
Do it now while I still
Bro, you
can.
looking?
I'll do it
Because
now.
not here.
Do it
The coast is clear.
while I still
The
can.
coast
Yeah.
is clear.
Yeah.
Put him there, bro. Put him captain as well.
There you go.
Irishman, I hope you're not watching this wherever you are. Ignore this.
Class putting Endo in.
No. I'm trying to.
Oh,
To get the players in, to get the players available, you have to like take them on and off. You know what I was gonna say is maybe could you see maybe I know everyone wants him as our 10. I get that. He should be our 10, saying that he wouldn't. But would you be angry at something like this? Yeah, Brian is definitely punching air right now. Go ahead.
It's a mad little sell, that one there. Interesting, that one. Interesting. Yeah.
You then get the same, ability to utilize Dom as that engine in the midfield, as a 10. You get the intensity. I know that Szoboszlai is going to most likely be. Yeah, I'll drop that so maybe it doesn't make everyone angry. If you were to get this as a case of heck, you could do something like, you most likely wouldn't put Núñez on the left. You could put Núñez on the left side too as well, by the way. And that would be a pretty dynamic situation too. You'd have one of your fastest players on the left side with Wirtz being in the 10. But would you be against this, Volante? Obviously not. Maybe not Chiesa. Maybe I'll put Diego up there.
Diego,
preferably, yeah. I would put. I'm agreeing with JK. I would put Núñez as up there, up as our. Well, but I'm just trying to do it so I don't get into a long debate.
Bro, do what you
feel. I know the chat would be like ready to just pounce.
Yeah.
I'm putting Darwin up top.
I'm not sure about that, but it's just difficult, isn't it? Because neither Darwin or Jota's pulling up trees. So right now, God, I'll have to I'll play Lucio in the false 9. I don't like that, but I just have to. Until if you're hypothetically saying Darwin and Jota there, they will have to be on the bench unless one of them picks up form for me. But again, it's down to the manager, isn't it? And that's the thing. If it's going to be a repeat of last season, that doesn't bode well with the up front. So, but right now, I'll probably put Lucio through the month. I think. What I said, I've said it before. Look, if Isak wants to come to us and he says next season, look, come and get me next season, then I'll play a year with someone in the false 9, whoever that may be, just for next season, and then we'll get our man. That's what I would do, per se. Unless whoever Jota I think Darwin will definitely be gone, or whoever's there can prove themselves, then yeah. But that's what I would do.
Okay. There is the possibility of, let me get this so I can get it. There is the possibility of Maka going there. You could drop Szoboszlai back. You could also do something like, no, just do something like that, or I know he loves playing Cody, but you could do something like that as well. I think that could be the most creative front four in Premier League.
Interesting. I would rather drop Wirtz into the McAllister position, McAllister into the Szoboszlai position, and then play Darwin up top with Salah, Wirtz, and Diaz behind him.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I would want to do it. But I know no one likes Darwin. But at the end of the day, I just feel that Wirtz behind the Darwin, you will get them through balls he wants to score goals from.
Mm-hmm.
Striker needs to be fed. I always said that. If you're playing striker, you're going to give him the ball to score.
Mm.
In the same way, Diaz beat his guy in the Southampton game, passed the square ball to Darwin. He was there to smash it in. Darwin, bang. That's for me a striker's goal. And if you don't do that, that was the first time I've seen any winger beat his guy and pass a square ball to the striker to bang it in. We ain't done that in years, bro. And people make fun of Darwin. Like that, Liverpool fans need to chill the fuck out on that one, because for me, he's still a Liverpool player right now.
Right.
Right now,
Agreed.
he's still a Liverpool player. When he goes,
Agreed.
yeah, fair enough. Let the guy just get on with his career. You know what I mean? Like this constant piss taking.
When he goes, have at all the jokes. Chill. You know,
it's not even out. It's not even opposition fans. It's our own fans, bro. We don't do that. Man United, Arsenal do that.
That's frustrating.
It's just annoying, bro. I just don't want to hear it no more. Like even
you wonder why it's difficult to sell the player. Like if you want the player to leave so much, okay, that's all well and good. You might not want him to play for the team. You might not like enjoy or appreciate his accomplishments and contributions, but you don't really up the value by the amount of biased opinion or opinions that are out there that are definitely shaping the direction of the player leaving more difficult than
imagine you work for Atletico Madrid. You need to go and find a striker, and you're like, okay, you know what I'll do? I'll just go to Twitter, type in Darwin Núñez, and I'll read what fans think of him from Liverpool. You got one guy saying, get this donkey out of our club. Another one saying he couldn't score in the brothel. I got another one saying he can't do this, he can't do that. And you're thinking, you know what? I'm not going to go after this guy. You might think they will never do that. But if you want to really find out the truth about a player, go to the chats about the fans talking between themselves. Because they watch the games and stuff, they're going to tell you what they think, so...
Makes it hard to sell too. It makes it hard to sell. I just think it does. It makes it hard to sell in that, like, when you think about it, like as in it's very similar to a Kai Havertz, and then that coach, whoever is that coach that is taking on that player, has to have the security, the confidence, the gravitas to be able to say, yes, I know this player is not beloved by his own fan base, and now I'm going to bring a player that is being deemed as being unworthy, or I've heard him be called stupid. I've heard him called or he doesn't have any. He has zero football IQ, and I've heard that he's gotten worse over the 3 years, and all these silly. I find them just not statistically accurate as well. It's just more feelings than it is, personally, from my perspective, it's more feelings than it is actually, the crunching of the test. Because I saw something recent, and I've been starting to incorporate into the frame of thinking I utilize too. Neil deGrasse Tyson, Neil Tyson deGrasse. I think his name is Neil deGrasse Tyson.
The space guy, yeah.
Yeah, the space guy. There you go. I think he's like an astrophysicist.
Yeah.
He was talking about something, and it was funny. He was talking about people in general. Most people don't have the ability to crunch numbers. They don't have the ability to take statistics, analytics, properly apply them, and be able to find patterns, be able to find like the realistic answers from those numbers. They're not scientists. They're not, statistic guys. They're not analytic guys. But advertisers, for instance, know you could put up all the benefits of some whatever product that you have. You can be like, oh, he's done this, he's done that, it'll do this, it'll do that, it'll do that. But if you have like an actual person, I don't know, hypothetically it's weight loss, and someone's like, oh, I lost 30 pounds on this. You can put all the statistics that you want that show how 1,000 people have been surveyed or put through these tests, and 900 of them lost weight that were at this rate, and 100 or 50 of them lost weight at this rate, and And most people would tune out listening and hearing that. But if you put a heavy-set person on there that says, you know what, this was me, a year before taking this, and this is me, and he's like pulling, he's like barely fitting into his, he barely fits into his pants now because like they're all big or something, and he's like, this is me now. That resonates louder to I won't say average, but the common person, or your usual individual. That part resonates. And sometimes having these conversations with people, I can see that that's more so the case when people go, it's all about the eye test, the eye test. No, the eye test is generated from your perspective. So I don't have your eyes. So therefore, I don't look at whatever test subject I'm looking at with the biases that you already have within. But one thing that we can all look at together are the statistics, or are the numbers, or are the what he's doing here and what he's doing there, and the crunching of those things. That's the one thing we can hold. So sometimes when you get into the conversations, I see why people don't like to bring in. I'm not saying you only should rely on statistics. You got to have a proper balance of the two. But if you're going to just discount all of the statistics and discount all of the numbers, then you're doing a disservice to it and just saying, oh, it's all about eye tests. In my perspective, I think that's a major disservice to the actual reality of it, because the science of the things, the actual science of the game and everything else, it allows for you to be able to have a conversation that's not feelings based, that's not really reliant on me trying to get into your head and figure out how you feel about this player, or whether you had a poster of him as a kid or something, like whatever it is, all the different things are easier to pick out and view when you're just dealing with, what, this player does this player does that, he's done this, and this. And then you want to apply the eye test to it. Fantastic. I think the stats back up your eye test, but very rarely do eye tests signify what statistics are going to show. Sometimes it was an interesting conversation. The subject I'm not going to bring up the subject that he was referencing, because that's very controversial, or it's divisive, the subject that he was talking on, I'm sure. So I'm not going to bring that up. But I will say that it applies to a lot of different things. It was a very interesting conversation that he had. I literally just was watching the segment that he was in last night. Very smart man, too. Let's see. So many people cherry pick other people's opinions because they back up what they want to think, regurgitate the same crap often enough, and lazy people start to think it's fact. That is true too, Lee. I agree with that completely. You'll hear people just saying things like, oh, this player's this player's this, like for instance, JK, you can probably back me up on this. Like the Trent Alexander-Arnold can't play defense. How often do you hear he can't play defense, he can't play defense, he can't play defense, he can't play defense? And you finally recognize that it's hogwash. Statistics don't bear it. There are times when he does have mental lapses, of course. I'll agree and admit to that. But he can't play defense. He's shut down some of the best players in the world. What it is. I started the endo chant, people. You want to talk about it? I got a little piece for you. I got a little segment loaded up, ready for you guys before we end this show. Since it's finally looks like the internet's finally starting to cooperate with me. I got you, Mark, and I got you, Dara. I do not own a poster of Nunez, but I'm sure I would probably purchase it at the same store Dara got his Gordon poster. And just kidding, Dara. We're just playing. I'm playing with you.
No, you know what Bernadette's saying about she don't understand the blind loyalty to Darwin. All it is this. We got a game on Saturday and it's a final, FA Cup. Darwin starting. I just want the guy to score a goal, bro. Nothing more, nothing less. It's like he's a Liverpool player, and when he plays for Liverpool, I want him to score goals. Nothing to do with blind loyalty. For me, I'm a very old school Liverpool player where I would never really diss the players unless I have a big reason to. There's many reasons with Darwin where we can say consistent game time, this time, a list of things that could be what's right and wrong. But I'm really just annoyed with the subject. For me, plays for Liverpool. I want him to score goals, nothing else.
Yeah, that's a major difference. I think that what the loyalty has nothing to. I think the loyalty to me is you put the red kit on, I'm going to be loyal to you.
There you go. That's the Liverpool way.
Because you want loyalty from them. You find it very interesting. You demand loyalty from these players.
Yep.
Oh, how could Trent, want to go to this team? How dare he? Or how dare Coutinho want to go to this team, or Suarez, or the likes? How dare they want to leave Liverpool? Yet, he had a bad game. Sell him.
Yeah. 90 minutes.
Sell him. He's trash. He's this. He's that. It's a funny world that we live in where we demand loyalty from our players, but we don't want to show loyalty back to them.
Look, bro, I'll give you an example. Gravenberch for the season. Manzo came out for one, get rid of all the hot Dutch players, sell Jack Cohen and sell Gravenberch. Season later, he gets Young Player of the Season in the Premier League. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I asked that. That's a funny part and point. Let's get into these cheers and jeers. How about that? Because that goes right into a segue of what we're talking about. Let's get into these cheers and jeers. Hopefully I can I want to bring up these pictures. I'll grab these pictures. My point real quick too, and I understand that comment always gets Players FC and Abdul. Everyone's welcome to their own philosophy about how you want to walk your walk with this club. And I get the whole loyalties lie with the club, not individual players. Understood. But the club is made up of these players as a collective.
Exactly.
So if you don't have any these individual parts, great. But if you start taking these individual parts and just start plucking them out, that flower that you have eventually will have no petals on it. You got to understand that all the pieces, all these individuals, in my opinion, make up the beauty of this club. We are a part of that. We are a part of that flower too. Now I'm getting very football romantic, but I mean, like, oh man. What player from the current team are you in terms of playing style? Oh, that's a good question. From the current team, ooh, I'll start at Dustin. That's a good question. It's a very good question. At least back with us. If I had to watch another season of Darwin hitting the crossbar or hoofing it miles wide, I will have no TV because my remote will be through it. Oh, lady baby, hope that you will not have to break your television.
That's funny, man.
Dara is talking about Gordon. He rates. He would rather have Gordon and Nunez. Okay. Well, I mean, that's your opinion, Dara. All right. I mean, I think it's like what Nunez's worst year, he scored as many goals as Gordon on one of his best years. Okay. Interesting. Just thought the whole bigger than. Let's see. How about a flower that turns out to be a weed? Well, for some people, that wouldn't be that bad. For some people, they would approve that. I would approve on that one. Wildflowers are beautiful too. Wildflowers are beautiful as well. All right, let's get into these cheers and cheers. Lee is back with us. He'll probably enjoy this one. I'm also going to see if this looks like the internet is finally working, or at least cooperating a little bit with me. So let's get into some of the photos I have. So I'm bring up this one first. Over here. Cool. All right. First cheer is going to this man, Alan Hansen. What a moment. Legend lifting the Premier League trophy with Virgil van Dijk as well. 7 years old, 7 years young, maybe some can say, and still representing the soul of this club. Individual. He
was a great signing. I think he was only 100,000. I think he cost.
Well, what was his cost? What was the cost of his cost to the team? You mean? Well, how much did we pay for him?
How much we paid for him back in 77 or 78 when we bought him? I think it was 100,000. I read. Which was
400, right? Is there something? Like
that? 100,000 pounds, I think. It might have been less. But it wasn't much.
So, Abdul, what I'm talking about is who presented Virgil van Dijk with the trophy? Alan Hansen. He handed the trophy to Virgil van Dijk. There's even a scene where the two of them take a picture together holding the trophy. And what do? They lift it up together. Everyone's so touchy. See what I mean? You mentioned something about Nunez, and now everybody wants to go at your throat.
Everyone wants to have a piece of it. Everyone wants a piece of you. 12.
Yeah, I know. Jeez. Give peace. Let's do is the airport still oh wow, Abdul getting mad. You talking rubbish. Did that not happen, or am I making it up?
Abdul was wrong, bro.
I know. Fool. I don't understand why you're all upset. Do I know football? Maybe I don't. I guess I don't. In your opinion, if I don't, I don't. Everyone's welcome to their opinions. So, Alan Hansen, if you're not a big fan of him, cool. But I am. Alan Hansen, happy birthday. As an individual, as a part of the club, as still a member of the Liverpool community. Big up to you, and big up to an absolute Liverpool legend. I think hopefully we can all agree on that one. All right now. I thought this was going to be a lot more like kumbaya. Is Chris Angel in the chat still? Jeez.
It was a lovely touch when Hansen presented Virgil with the trophy. I think maybe Abdul meant that he won the Premier League. That's maybe where he got mixed up. Is that you were saying he lifted it?
Yeah, indeed.
That's probably where he got mixed up.
Alan Hansen never played in the Premier League. So, I mean, that's not possible. Trophy. All right. Well, this one's going to be a little bit divisive too. This one might be a little bit divisive, and that is a happy birthday to Felipe Coutinho. Love him or hate him, especially with how he left the team. Individual, I get it. He gave us memories, and his exit funded Ali and Virgil. So raise a glass to the magician. How about that? Oh, wow. Big up. We got Jamie Phillips in the house. Wow. Big up, Jamie. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, you gotta respect him. But Felipe Coutinho is a little bit different story. Felipe Coutinho was an absolute magician. And not only was he a magician, some could argue that we'll have to wait and see what Florian Wirtz brings to the chat. Some might have to even say what, the pan of what Maka does with his career here at Liverpool. But some could argue that this man right here is one of the most talented players to ever be in a Premier League Liverpool team for our midfield. Would you agree or disagree on that?
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly. He's one of the most skillful players we've ever had, Felipe Coutinho. He was a magician, wasn't he? He was a little magician. If that's not too tired a cliche to use, a little magician with wonderful feet. Then he learned how to take kicks as well, yeah. He was magic, wasn't he?
Yeah. Bring that up here. Number 10.
What a player, bro.
Yeah, I didn't have a cob on with him for going, really, because we won out of it anyway by getting Alisson and Van Dijk. I didn't want him to leave. I wanted us to keep him, but I didn't hold it against him, really, because we came out of it really well, didn't we? We knew that we were only selling him to spend the money, and we spent the money wisely. And you have to wonder, don't you, would we have won the Champions League and the league without Alisson and Van Dijk, but with Felipe? It's a poser, isn't it? It's a bit of a riddle. Would we have done the same things without Alisson and Van Dijk if we'd have kept Coutinho?
I was going to ask that question, Abdul. I mean, I appreciate your football knowledge because that's exactly what I was going to ask too. Coutinho or Wirtz as the 10? As a 10, you think Wirtz has more? You think Wirtz is a better? Who would you say is the better player, Wirtz or Coutinho? At their, I guess you're saying it's a little bit difficult because Wirtz hasn't played in the Premier League yet. We have seen Coutinho play in Germany, also in Spain as well. What would you say?
Tricky question. Tricky. We need to ask that next season, at the end of the next season. I will tell you the answer to that. But for me, Coutinho, bro, I'll probably go with Coutinho. So it's up to Wirtz. It's up to Wirtz to show what he's like, For me, Coutinho, one of my favourite players. He played for Liverpool. He's got some beauties as well, you know. Top player. I'm a bit sort of sad for him that he didn't go sort of right for him after he left us. Left Barcelona, went on loan and stuff like that, bro. And if you cost that much money, show a bit of patience with the lad. Find out what's wrong with him that he can't play the way he did for Liverpool. I don't really understand that transfer. It went pear-shaped. He ended up at Villa. I think leaving Liverpool sometimes it sort of hinders the guy to going to the next team. Liverpool, they know when they leave that we're a big club, and they probably feel bad because the way we love them as players, you know. Coutinho, all of them.
I don't think Coutinho is still with. I don't think he's still a Villa player. I think he finally got to transfer back to Brazil.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up real quick for you.
Wasted talent, man. I think his best days were at Liverpool.
I think his best days were at Liverpool. I think though that shows. I think it's just sometimes with some players, you know, the grass isn't greener. You know, the grass isn't greener on the other side of the fence type situation. You know what I mean? Sometimes. And I think that's the way it was for Coutinho. Coutinho left. He had some unfortunate injuries, obviously, once he did leave. You know, but he was an incredible player, man.
He was
absolutely incredible player.
Cost $8 million. Come on, man! What a player!
The thing that hurts though is the way that he did push for his exit from the team. It makes it difficult. Yeah, he's at Vasco da Gama.
Vasco da Gama, yeah.
But like it does make it difficult to actually say and give him like the proper due. Like, would you ever see Coutinho coming back for a Legends game, for instance?
Nah, I don't know. You know.
This is Edward. Shout out Edward. That's a good comparison.
Good question, man.
No, what he said. He said, what happened to Coutinho happened to Hazard.
Yeah, because they
very, very similar arcs.
Yeah, because the way they left the club, it went a good way. Hence why it hinders their next move. I always say that do it right, and you'll be okay. I think when you look at Coutinho and Hazard, bro, two of the greats of the Premier League, you know what I mean? Like, wow, top players, bro. And they end up going to a big team in Spain, and it all goes pear-shaped. And I still don't understand the urge to go there anymore. For me, look at these guys. Find out why did they fail. Look at the crowd, how they treated them when they didn't do it right for the first 3, 4, 5 games. How did they get treated? The players need to find out about that. You know, so Trent, it's going to be a mad one about Trent. See what happens with him. It's going to be a soap opera, bro.
Yeah, it is.
As soon as he has a bad game, it's going to be mayhem.
Oh, it is. And look, La Liga isn't exactly the most forgiving. That's a good word to put it. Yeah, forgiving. Torres is. I get the Torres thing. The Torres thing though was El Nino was with that when he got that knee injury that really hampered his abilities to do a lot of things that he normally could do. But you know, you can say what's sad about Torres is that he went to Chelsea and he still won things with Chelsea. Let's not get it twisted. He won things with Chelsea, and yet Chelsea still don't look at him as being really a beloved player in their history. And that's a shame because he was an absolute incredible player. All right. Trigger warning. Please, if you got angry at me before, earmuffs or mute for a little bit. I'll wave you back in when we are finished this little snippet that I'm going to say for this next cheer. But you know where we're going with this one.
Boy,
you know where this is going.
First game of the season.
You know where this is going.
Go on.
Today marks the 3rd year 3-year anniversary of this man signing paper to pen, or pen to paper, excuse me. It's been chaos. He's been frustrating. I understand that. He's also been clutch. He's got a league champ. He's got a league cup. He's also got a Premier League, and never backs down to anyone. End the stream. End the stream now. End the stream. Oh, but all good.
Yeah, 3 years today, bro.
Yeah, 3 years today. That's when he went and signed, became a Red. He's over there showing you what it means, and that is hard work, dedication. It can bring out good things, and it can bring out what that is, and that is a Premier League medal. So shout out to him. Shout out to him.
Yeah, once like he's a player of the past and we've moved on, when you look back on him, you just remember his good bits, or I will anyway, or the good goals he scored and that, and the assists he made, rather than remember him, missing chances. I remember him for the good things he did while he was here.
That's positive. That's all I would like to see. That's all I've been really advocating for, really.
Yeah, he tried his best. It's not like he didn't try, is it? Like he gave it his best. And right. Some of the goals were outrageous. He scored a few really tasty goals, didn't he? And he was committed. He was committed, wasn't he? He was a good guy.
LFC reminded me of that. It wasn't like it was on my calendar or something, but the LFC website or Twitter website had that announcement, or they had like a montage of like just Nunez, like, memories and moments. And I remember the one of the moments I enjoyed was the Brentford memory that he had. The goal against Brentford that won us the game winner late in the 90 plus minutes or whatever it was. Trent Alexander-Arnold gives the assist to him. Nunez taps it home, and game over. Go home happy. Those are kind of memories I enjoy remembering about him. I look back sometimes. We all have disappointments in our lives. We all have disappointments in our lives. Oh man, another one. I have a jeer to all the Endo haters. There have been some people saying that this man had no place on this team. He's now about to approach his 3rd year with the club coming up. I think he has certainly cemented a place for himself to say that he is a proper Red. This photo is here. I think him waving to all of his haters. And there was some people that didn't want to give him a chance. Shout out to KJ, for instance. I know KJ and I got a lot of flack from some of the different content creator pages out there that really did not look positively when this transfer was happening. I know JK spoke highly on him. He watches the German league, but also he spoke highly on the sense of that. This guy's a pure professional. I always have been saying from the very gate, put some respect on his name, and that this guy would become a club, one of those club heroes or cult hero type status eventually. And I mean, hey, this guy at one point was our number 6, up until the League Cup game which he played in and got injured in. He had pretty much impressed enough to be counted on as being a dependable Red for us. And he is still, to this day, he's wormed his way back into the graces with Slot, I think, even by at least Slot. You see Endo come in, get into the game, it's Endo games. It's the end of game. Endo game, I guess is how we want to put it. So shout out to that. I didn't hear anything more. Has anyone heard anything more about those it got presented to us yesterday that Edwards was going to Saudi Arabia or something silly.
Yeah. What the hell was
I
that
don't
about?
know of any. Yeah. I don't know about any of that. I just think that it's kind of hopefully we understand that we will have our share of trolls that will join our chats and try to put misinformation into the chats. I think I don't think Edwards is going to Saudi Arabia. It'd be a very, very big, yeah.
Hope not. He's only just walked back in the door, hasn't he? Like 12 months ago.
I know it'd be weird to finally get what you want. You don't have to bat heads. You got the coach that you handpicked. You got the sporting director that you handpicked. You don't have to go head to head with a club legend or a football legend in Klopp. You don't have to go head to head with like trying to get your opinion to count. You got everything you wanted, and then you're going to just say, okay, I'm out. No, I seriously doubt that. Quick roundup. This was something interesting. I wanted to hear what you guys thought about this. There was talk from our current number 10, and he was bigging up his center half for his national team. And I'm glad to see that he's that he's good friends with the player, thinks he's obviously appreciates him. Christian Romero. McAllister wants us to go after Christian Romero. He's happy as a Spur. I think it's big. If Spurs had lost that final against United, maybe this is more of a conversation. But being that they won and got Champions League out of it, and they're going to have a new coach and they're going to have a new start to the whole process once again, and they can basically hit reset and go again, it would be difficult to get him in through the door. He is on, I think, about 8-point-some million. I think it's like 8.5, I would say. He's on I think it's around 8 million a year. He's signed to 2027, so he'll be approaching his second year in his second year of his contract. I'm going to ask the panel. I'll ask you in the chat. Do you do McAllister a solid and go for Christian Romero as a center half option?
I like Romero. I think he's really talented, but he's a bit hot-headed, isn't he?
He is.
Maybe I would have him, though, if he could play in a better team, where he wasn't exposed as much as he is in the Spurs team. Maybe he'd be a bit more settled in his temperament, and relaxed, possibly. But he is a talented player, definitely,
Okay.
So yes, I'd say yes, go for him. Sorry, Jay.
Okay. The market value for Christian Romero currently is at 50 million euros is what they have the player marked up as. I have to look and see. Let me look up real quick what his some more specifics about him. He's 27 years old, so he's just at that cusp of, is he too old or is he too, that kind of we don't normally go for players that are at that age. Marquet is saying Romero, no. Okay. Lee says he has no idea, to be honest, but he's better value than I don't know who that is. Eklis TK.
Eccles TK. All right.
TK. Eklis TK.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what player he means.
Does he mean Eka TK? Eka TK. I think he meant Eka TK. Yeah, he means Eka TK. I got you.
Well, with Romero, as I said, he's got lots of skill as a defender and lots of attributes, but it's his hot-headedness at times and his penchant for being sent off occasionally.
You would think though, if Macca were to get his wish and get Christian Romero on to be a part of this team, it could probably solidify him not feeling the urge to move on. Maybe he wants to stay with one of his brethren, you know?
I always like that when they have a mate in the squad, you know, especially if they're from really far away, because it's not too bad if it's like you say a German coming where he's only coming like, you know, not far from Germany, but like McAllister and Romero, Argentina's a long, long way away, isn't it? And it does help them. It helped when Fabinho, Firmino and Alisson were all here, didn't it? Because they were like really close, weren't they, as a trio, them three?
Mm-hmm. How about for you, JK?
Can you repeat that, bro?
So according to this, it's 38.8. So if would you go and say offer them 40 million pounds for Christian Romero?
Never in a million years, bro.
Okay. Oh, in a million years.
I wouldn't even take him for free.
Don't let Macca hear you say that. Okay. All right.
Nah, man, he's an accident waiting to happen. That guy. You'll be
Oh,
winning
you're
1-0
because of his head. He's a
discipline.
head kick.
Yeah. I don't like them type of like Rudiger, top player, but I wouldn't want him anywhere near the Liverpool defense. Yeah.
Okay.
Virgil van Dijk is the prime, and if you're not like him, I don't really want you to be playing for Liverpool. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that echoes my sentiments, doesn't it, Swell? Because I think he's got loads of defensive skill, but it is just his hot-headedness and his, he does get sent off a few times. But maybe he could eradicate that in a better side where he wasn't exposed as much. I mean, playing in that Spurs side can't be great for the defender, especially this season. But he is talented. I do like him, you know, in that respect, if he could cut out all the nonsense, but it's whether he could or not.
Yeah. By the way, the reason why we're asking it, Hans, is because he's saying Guehi is better than Romero. I'm not saying yay or nay to that. Only reason why I'm bringing that up is because Alexi McAllister spoke about his Argentinian player, and he actually thinks, I don't know if he had a conversation with Virgil or not, but he actually says that he thinks that Christian Romero is the best center half in the world.
Oh, well, that's quite bold of him, like. But you would expect him perhaps to say that about an international team.
It's just national team.
He won the World Cup with them, didn't he? He won the World Cup together. He also spoke this way about Caicedo, who is an Argentinian. He calls him Moy, and he was saying I would have loved us to have signed Moy because he's got everything as a player. He always bigs up other players that he's played with. McAllister, it's a habit of his, like to big up the players he's played with.
Yeah. Lee's saying we are back to the old problem, buying starter quality and expecting them to be content with being backup. I can't. That's what. More to the point, wanting starter wages to sit bench. Hans, I think, is agreeing with him on that one. I think that's what Hans is saying. So basically maybe saying Guehi might be a better option, considering that Guehi might not. I think Guehi would even want to have starting minutes, though. I get Crystal Palace, the move from Crystal Palace to, I think Newcastle's is in for him. Obviously, we were linked with him as well, and that means Guehi. I don't know if I don't think Gay. If it was Gahey or Kanate, I still start Kanate over Gahey.
Yeah, it's more like comparing them to Quansah for me. Gahey, like how much better than Jarell Quansah is he? He's got more experience in terms of Premier League games started, but Jarell's started quite a lot of Premier League games still. He's not an absolute novice. I suppose that would be the player you'd be looking at, like, was he starting ahead of Jarell if we brought him in, Mark Gahey? But he's got plenty of experience now, and he's international. He's won the FA Cup. He's a great player, like, I think he's good, Mark Gahey. I'm not certain, though, that he's Liverpool good. I'm not absolutely convinced that he's Liverpool good.
Well, it ends up being that Lee's asking what happened to the Hato talk. It has died down a little bit, but apparently Arsenal, I read that Arsenal are very, very committed to trying to get Hato as a player. That's the last update I heard was that that Arsenal are pretty committed to trying to get Hato as a option for them. I don't know what that would. I don't know what Arsenal's doing, nor do I care like that. I'm not trying to give them any bit of advice, but it'd be interesting if they go for another, left back or left center back, whatever position he's going to end up playing for them. Considering that they just went in for, defense. That's primarily what they did. Yeah. Lee saying they already have about 32 center backs. I think so. You're right about that. The other thing I was going to bring up is a rumor out there about Bradley Barcola. It's rumored that the PSG player is on our radar. However, he is staying put at PSG is the also commentary I've received back from that rumor. I don't think Bradley Barcola, having just won the Champions League, is going to look to move. Big up M. Tarmizi. I think sooner you could see a Kubo deal get made, if not a Kangan Lee, maybe, if he wants to try to get more playing minutes. But I don't know if I don't think if you're talking about someone from a PSG team, but I don't think Barcola is going to make a move. Good player, excellent player though, very, very, very talented player. Also, this one's interesting. Garnacho to Villa.
What?
What's that?
What?
No, I was just saying, I'm interested in it, yeah, Garnacho. I quite like Garnacho. He's not the worst forward Man United have got, and I don't think he cost them anything, compared to
I think it'll be a great deal for Villa, to be honest with you. I think Garnacho to Villa, I think Emery would actually improve on Garnacho's career and output as opposed to, what he's dealing with, not getting minutes, getting frustrated. And I don't think that he deserves the minutes that he's talking about, to be honest with you. He thinks he's a starter. He thinks he's a world-class starter. But you could maybe make that argument in versus the talents that make up Manchester United. But yeah, it's apparently Villa are serious about it. It's a very interesting move. Very interesting. I don't know. Let me see it.
Yeah, Emery could probably coax and coach a lot more out of him, perhaps. Maybe prefer it at Villa. It's not as big a stage in the way like, you've got to perform brilliant. You know what I mean? Always being watched. You get a bit of time at Villa to settle in and produce something. It'd be interesting to see what happens to Rashford now.
It'd be interesting to see what price they want.
For me, Garnacho is one of the better attackers that Man United do actually possess. That they've got in their squad. They brought in Cunha, haven't they? I'd be wanting to pair him up with Cunha and whoever else on the right-hand side. Whoever it is they get.
Well, there you have it.
Missed out on Mbeumo, have they, for the right? Have they missed out?
That is something, I don't have that in my notes here, but like, or on the script here, but for stuff to talk about. But apparently, Mbeumo might be leaving or might be joining Frank in London or with Tottenham.
Yeah.
And that makes sense in that deal, in that you'd be going with a player, with a coach that does believe in you. Into a team that needs. Go ahead.
He's waiting for some Champions League football, isn't he? He doesn't want to wait the rest of his bloody life for it. So if he can get it straight away,
a player like him could possibly help cement them not only being in Champions League, but making Champions League again by maybe being, propelling them to top 5, top 4. I know it's a big jump from where they're at, but you know what? You can say the same for Chelsea. Chelsea did the same last year. Chelsea was at the bottom of the barrel last year, and now they've, they did their Drake move from the bottom to the top type thing, But yes, apparently Alejandro Garnacho is valued at
crazy.
Might even say what the number is. £70 million is what Manchester United are reportedly looking to get back from him. Several clubs, Napoli, Chelsea, Villa, Atletico Madrid, and even Bayern Leverkusen are reportedly interested in the winger.
Not for that price, though.
No, not for $70 million. Not for $70 million. Hans is asking Javi Simons. Is it Simmons or Simons? Simmons?
Simmons.
I think it's Simons.
Garnacho.
Or Garnacho. They kind of play different positions, but
player-wise, Bobby Simmons for me.
I would probably, I would go with
I'd take Javi Simmons.
He's got. I like the pedigree of what he's got a little bit more. He's a Dutch player, right? Isn't he a Dutch player?
Yeah, he's Dutch. Yeah.
Dutch players played in France. Has played in obviously Spain as well. Played in obviously Holland as well.
Germany.
Yep. Yeah, it's played in all. That's pretty decent to say. He played in all four of the bigger leagues in Europe. This one is an interesting one because this player was formerly linked to us. We were all at the beginning of the season when everyone was like, doing their little chick littles about us not having a DM and having no prospects of a DM. But at that time, we were looking at possibly bringing in Zubamendi. And now Zubamendi is apparently going to Arsenal. There was talks about Madrid that was supposed to possibly get involved and maybe coerce him to join them at Madrid, especially with, Xabi Alonso and the likes, those kinds of players having such pull of with a lot of the youth of or the younger players that are Spanish. But they beat Madrid to the punch. I'm going to ask this to you guys. Is this a statement signing? Is this really, really big?
If it happened last season, yeah. For me, I don't know. Something about this guy. Something's not right. He had the opportunity supposedly to come to Liverpool. Probably gave the Arsenal news out to make maybe that Real Madrid make a move for him. Never seemed to work out like that. So he looks like he's going to Arsenal, bro. Yeah. Let him carry on.
Sure. big move for you? Is it a big signing? Lee?
Wirtz is a big signing for me.
Yeah.
Wirtz is a massive sign. Are you talking about Zubamendi as well?
I mean, can Zubamendi be their signature signing?
Possibly. He is very, very good. He is
Wow.
he's in the Rodri mold, isn't he?
What?
Not quite as good as Rodri.
Yeah, I guess that's like.
Yes, I think it could be even without they will make it. They will make other signings like a striker, but I think he's really good and it should sort their midfield out a bit. What they're going to do with the midfield, I don't know. What combinations he's going to favour, but yeah, he's a great player.
Okay.
No, he's a good player.
All right. I
But
wasn't
if I had the
expecting
choice between him and Wirtz,
Zubamendi, Rodri mold. I was like, ooh, okay, I guess.
Well, he's just standing for the national side, isn't he? That's why I put it like that, because he stands in for them for the national side.
He does, and he was important in that Euro run for them. He was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
mountains to look at in London, though. So we'll see about that. Last but not least, Rashford to Barcelona. Off. It is off unless the Perisic deal collapses, apparently. I don't know what is going on with a lot of these Manchester United players that are somewhat just hovering around the drain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
their
like
club it's in turmoil, bro.
Yeah.
When you look at it, I'm not going to laugh at them because of the fact when we were growing up as kids and stuff, this team was taking over British football, bro. Liverpool was left behind. It was hard. Went to school with Man United fans, and we carried on loving football. You know, still loving the team and that. And now the table sort of turned. We just won the latest Premier League title. Man United finished 16th, was it, or something? Lost the Europa League final.
Oh yeah. They were in. I think they ended up getting 15th. I think
15th. So nothing
because,
great.
Because I think West Ham was below them. I'll look it up.
Okay. So that's the state Man United as a club are in. Don't know if they're coming and going. They wasted so much money on Zerki. The other lad who plays up front from Italy they got, and Anthony, another guy. When you don't spend wisely, bro, that's one good thing about Liverpool. We do spend wisely, and we do our homework about the player, and we get it right 9 times out of 10. You can't go wrong with that. Man United are
15
2 times out of 10.
It wasn't West Ham. It was Wolves that dropped below them. But yeah. It was Spurs in 17th, and then Man U at 16th, and then but then Wolves, I guess, dropped points, and they ended up in 16th place. Manchester United ended up in 15th.
Yeah, United would beat Villa 2-0, I think, last game of the season. Villa should have won that to get Champions League football. God knows what they did that day. But Man United as a whole, bro, good times for us. You know what I mean? If the shoe was on the other foot right now, God knows what these guys will be saying about us. We don't waste our time doing that because for me, our team does the talking. We don't need to say nothing to these Man United channels. Nothing. That's football, man.
What about? There was our thing. Let me. I'll get this one in before we ended up wrapping up the segment and bringing the show to a close. And that was. There's talks about Xabi Alonso he's going to be incorporating his back three into Real Madrid. And that's going to be the way that you get to see both Carvajal and Trent Alexander-Arnold play on the same pitch.
It's good news. It's runs.
What's that?
It's good news for Trent if it's true, isn't it, that he'd be playing wing back rather than full back?
Yeah, yeah. I think that it's great news for Trent because obviously your responsibilities are different being a wing back than it is for being an outright right back. But it's going to be interesting. There has to be a lot of trust being placed into the hands of Alonso to make that change, to bring in the back three. We've already seen Manchester United allow for their coach to come in and do something somewhat similar, in that he's been trying to make that adjustment. Do you think that's a good move, JK? I heard Lee's take.
He worked in Germany for him. He finished first and second. It could, like football. Imagine Slot went with that 3 at the back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would we be saying right now? We'd be like, oh, it's different. At the end of the day, the manager's choice. And the manager thinks this is right for the team he's manager of.
Mm-hmm.
Let him go with the formation he wants to play. That's what managers do. Everyone's different. Emery's different to Slot. Slot's different to Pep Guardiola. Everyone's different and stuff. And that's why I love football sometimes. Every manager is different. And, yeah, see what happens.
I'm going to ask this real quick to big up Paul Smith. Shout out to Paul Smith.
Bless Paul Smith.
Hi, Paul.
Definitely. Good to see you,
And
Paul.
Oliver. Lee was good as well. Justin.
Yeah, it's been a while. I know Paul. Paul is on is avid YouTube commentator or comments, and also when people do the call-in panels, he calls in and has opinions, and I enjoy going back and forth with him. We don't have the same opinions on some things, but we're both Reds, so we're all able to verse what it is that we want to say, get it off our chest, and that's what we do. M. Tarmizi thinks Al Hilal can hurt Madrid in CW's. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That would be interesting. Wait, which one? Is it Al Nassr or is it Al Hilal that Ronaldo played for? Which one was it?
Hilal, no?
Is it Al Nassr? Is it Al Nassr?
I think it's Al Nassr that they played for.
Yeah.
I think Bobby plays for the Al Hilal team, or did at least. There's talks that Bobby might be moving on to another team now, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. Yeah. Al Nassr, yeah, Tavis said.
Well, there was a
So
lot
Ronaldo's
of
without a club. Without a club now, is he?
I think so, yeah.
Technically, he's without a club, but he could still sign. There was talks about. Who did I say yesterday? He made some demands about. I think it was about Garnacho.
Okay.
I think it was about bringing Garnacho to the team, and then he'll sign on again.
Really?
Yeah, Al Hilal is playing Real Madrid in 4 days. That could be a little bit of an upset.
I'm happy we're not involved.
Oh, that's right. They have Mitrovic is their one of their main guys. They have Marcos Leandro, the Brazilian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's interesting too because, like, as in we talk about homegrown in Saudi Arabia, there's not many places on the rosters that you can bring in international players. To be honest with you,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they definitely. Oh, that's right. They have Koulibaly
Okay.
and João Cancelo. Cancelo, I say Cancelo.
Wow, he's there as well.
Yeah, no, that's what I
What?
just said. Yeah,
Nah.
João
Wow, what happened
Cancelo,
to him? From
and
the
they
top
have
to the bottom, man.
yeah, and
He did a
Koulibaly.
backward streak.
Yeah, and Koulibaly. Yeah,
can't believe it, bro. Cancelo was
Pretty
like, for
wild.
me, he was up there. Can't
Um,
believe what happened to him, man.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lodi, the Brazilian, is their left back. I'm gonna ask you this question though. Rapid fire, just give me a name. Who's the one realistic rumor you'd most like to see Liverpool pursue? Not a fantasy name, not I can't say like a Bastoni or something like that. A realistic name, but one that would fill a real need for us. Who's the one name that you? Who's the one name you want to see? You can tell us in the chat too. Who?
Isaac for me.
Okay, Isak. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Isaac.
Isaac. Yeah. Lee's going with Alvarez. I'd like to see that too. That would probably be my pick.
Yeah, Alvarez. Yeah, one of the two, man.
Lee, for you, real quick.
I'm not going to pick a striker. I'll pick that Colombian centre half because he'd be a mate of Lucio's. He plays for Bologna, and he won man of the match in the Italian Cup final. I'll go for him, centre half. John Lucani, his name is John Lucani.
That's an interesting shout. Dustin's saying Alvarez, but also, are you saying Kingsley Coman?
Yeah, I'll take him. Coman.
Really?
I think he's out of favour with the.
He's 29 years old, isn't he? Like going on 30.
Like 2 years.
He's almost 30 years old. Yeah, he turns 30 in June.
In him, though, hasn't he? I reckon.
No, he already turned 30. He just turned 29. That's a shout. That's a name I haven't heard in a while as being someone.
True. I think Bayern are having a little revamp. I think Sane going to Galatasaray. Coman is not really needed. And yeah, so we'll see. That's probably why the Gapco news is coming out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh wait, what about the Cody news?
The Cody rumors with Bayern because Bayern.
Just the Bayern. I thought the Cody news was Bayern was coming out because of I thought the Cody news for Bayern was coming out strictly on spite. To be honest with you, I thought the Cody news from Bayern were coming out just like, oh, you're gonna take Wirtz? Yeah. Oh, okay, we'll take Cody then.
There you go.
That's what it sounded more like. All right, well then here's another follow-up question. If Liverpool continues spending aggressively, which is what they're doing, obviously the money we spend is aggressive. You know, we just spent good money for Frimpong. We're about to spend good money for Kerkez. I mean, we'll be well over 200 million spent in this window, with possible more to come. We're landing some top tier names. How long until rival fans start seeing us as the new version of, like, the way, you know how City was that buying machine that was buying all the good players and just recirculating the roster with just good player after good player after good player, and, you know, in out with one good player, in with another good player. How long do you think it'll be? Do you think do you think we'll be able to, like, realistically have that title after this window? And are you okay with us being that team?
Yeah. Yes to both. Yeah, I'm okay with us being the number one destination for players now instead of City. That suits me fine. I can deal with all the aggro that comes with it, like, and that, you know, rival fans being annoyed and that, like. But yeah, I think it's a great thing that we can just refresh and renew now. And like Robbo, I mean, I don't know if he's going to Atletico Madrid, but like, his stint's over really in it now. We've used up everything he had, like, as a starter. I mean, I'd still keep him as a squad player, like, as a preference over Tsimikas. But we're just refreshing there. We were refreshing with Wirtz, we're refreshing with Frimpong. We just need a couple of other positions done now, and we're good, aren't we, to go for the season? We're good to go for August with a couple more signings.
Yeah, do you think, okay. Dustin says a few more years because it's still the rebuild and a new coach. Okay.
Yeah, it won't all be done in one go, will it, like this rebuild? But, I mean, and we're talking about the eventual leaving of Virgil and Mo as well in 2 years' time. So we'll be refreshing in them positions in 2 years' time. And it probably will be an entirely different team to the one that initially won the Champions League against Spurs.
Yeah. Robbo can get a job somewhere where he gets minutes. He wants what he deserves. He deserves it.
For me, bro, what you were just saying now, back in the day, say, let's go back 5 years ago. If anyone brought that topic up, what's going to happen when Trent and Robbo leave?
Let's go back 6 years ago. How about that?
Okay, let's go 6 years.
I think 5 years ago was right around when we all had to stay inside. So,
oh god, we won the league, didn't we? We won the league, bro. So
yeah,
Trent and Robbo played a big part in that. Imagine that question then.
We had a Champions League that year, so it helps.
It helps, you know. So, and they were big players for us, bro. Highest assist makers in the Premier League, both of them. And that conversation of replacing them was a conversation we would never really have to make. And in a weird sort of way, if Kerkez comes in, it's been a sort of smooth takeover. It's been done. Okay, the Trent affair, God, that was loud. But all in all, Frimpong coming in, I think majority of Liverpool fans are happy with that move, him replacing Trent. That's cool. The Kerkez one, I think a majority of Liverpool fans are happy with that one as well. So it's bang with them two deals. And it's been a smooth sort of operation getting that done. Back in the days, I thought, that's impossible. How are you going to replace these two guys? You know? So, fair play to Robertson, bro. If he moves, he moves. I seen his interview yesterday at his golf. He did his golf charity thing in Scotland. He was playing golf. James Milner was there. John McGinn. And he had this, his energy wasn't really, how do I say it, Andy Robertson style. It was like, it was sort of, he was debating something about what's happening with himself. Is he going, this, that, and the other and stuff, bro? You know what I mean? You know, when a player knows he's staying at the club, he's got another 3-4 years there, his attitude is different on camera. It was the first time I've seen Robertson. It weren't the Robertson way, man. That's all I'm saying. He answered the Wirtz question. Yeah, great player, this, that, and the other. You know what I mean?
It's just that same swagger wasn't there.
Say again?
That same swagger, the same
the same cockiness. That's the word. Cocky, because he's a cocky. He's a cocky guy.
Yeah.
First time I've seen him like that, bro. And that for me there shows me he's probably going to be moved on. Yeah, man. First time I've never seen him.
Do you think he's on the phone calling Trent and being like, "So I heard you had a Spanish tutor? You got his number still?
See if you can hook me up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You think I can get a referral deal or something?
We're gonna be living around the corner. You play for Real, I'll play for the other team. Don't worry about it.
Trent was ready for that speech. I'll tell you that much.
That's another thing, bro. Back in the days, 5 years ago, let's go 6 years. If you said to me one day, these two guys will be playing in Madrid, I'd be like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here, bro. You know, so it's a crazy world, football, man. How things change. Just like that. You know, Thomas Tuchel, one day he's the manager of Chelsea. Next Bayern, next England manager, bro. That's football. Football's probably one of the most sort of exciting games where you don't really expect the unexpected. Like, the unexpected just pops up. And it's like, wow, you know what I mean? Like a Wirtz deal. No guy, no content creator mentioned Wirtz ever. You know,
Coutinho.
where was the noise about this?
We already spoke on Coutinho. I don't know if the streets was here when we spoke on Coutinho. He's saying Coutinho was a rat, but Trent is a snake. That's not good. That means Trent is gonna look to eat Coutinho up. Good. Who starts on the left side for Real Madrid? I don't know off the top of my head who does. Does anyone know out there in the chat who starts for Real Madrid on the left side?
Mbappe drifts out there, doesn't he? Rodrigo plays more on the right, doesn't he? Usually.
No, I just meant like not on the left side. I mean, Vinny starts up front.
Yeah, Vinny on the left. Yeah.
But I think it's what's that kid's name? Hold on. I think it's Garcia, but yeah, Fran Garcia.
Modric is going to.
25.
Yeah, Modric is going to AC Milan next week.
Is he?
Yeah. That's like Madrid. Milan lost that Reinders guy to City, and I think they bought in Modric now. Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow. That is crazy. Football is wild right now with some of the
wild, bro. It's really wild.
That a lot of these players are going. Yeah.
That's I'm blaming Wirtz. He kicked it all off.
Yeah. I mean, you got coaches coaching for rivals. You got homegrown, hometown boys going abroad and playing against our international rivals. You got people that love mountains. Apparently moving on to London.
You got teams that are not meant to be spending, and they're spending like 350 million in 2 windows.
I know.
This crazy shit going on.
I know. And look at us. We're all and us just sitting here nice and comfy. Occasionally picking fights about our own players.
That's it. That's the only reason we're gonna argue is about.
Is that the only reason why we're arguing over that stuff? So that. Here, I'll show you this too. This is what's going to be the.
That's so proud.
That's going to be the actual preseason schedule for us. July 13th. What's wild about that? That's only a month away, and we're already back to football, people.
Yeah, mad, eh? That's what I was thinking yesterday. Exact same thing. I seen that list, and I thought the same thing. I was like, wow, that's quick. That's real quick. Yeah, man. Yep.
Very, very quick.
Virgil, get rest, brother.
Yeah. Is that where Preston play? Is that the name of the stadium? Or
Deepdale, yeah.
Deepdale, okay.
Yeah, Deepdale. That's Preston, yeah.
And then
it's down the road from Liverpool. It's not far.
Yeah. Then speaking of AC Milan, we will be seeing them in Hong Kong on the 26th of July. And then a few days after that, we will be going up against the Yokohama team. Yokohama is actually Yokohama. I know it pretty well. Actually, it's where I knew someone from Yokohama. Actually,
Japan,
back in college. Yeah, back in college. That's where they're from. And then final game of the preseason will be maybe an interesting case of the athletic club Bilbao will be maybe seeing some very new faces a part of Liverpool, and it'll be a double header, one of those how we do that. So it'll be a team A and a team B that basically take on Bilbao. Very, very interesting. 5 p.m., 8 p.m. start, British Standard Time.
Okay. Good to get a ticket for that then.
Yeah. Should be interesting. I'm sure if we end up getting a bus like Manchester United and have to go through the streets, we'll probably get a little bit better showing than Manchester United showing on their Asian tour. Holy, that was absolute.
God, that was poor.
That was an absolute travesty.
There you go, bro. And
that
that's
was
what we're saying.
embarrassing.
That was embarrassing. We didn't have to say nothing to Man United fans.
Absolutely.
It was there. It was just like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Sunday league teams have had more fans celebrating, man. It's crazy. You would never think that in the Fergie days that would be like that.
Who would have thunk it? Exactly. Who would have thunk it? Well, that's it for today's show. Wirtz is in. Robbo possibly out. Madrid's been beaten in one way or another, and we're not done yet. We still got a lot of maintenancing to do with the team. We're going to see some other players leave, some other players arrive. I do ask you to hit that subscribe button. That means a lot. We're actually moving very, very rapidly now to getting some really, really nice numbers when it comes to the audiences that we are pulling. We've been having certainly I've been putting on really good, not only good numbers, but also maybe making a difference in the dialogue that's been being put out there. I know sometimes we have bouts where we strike out at each other, but you just got to take a step back, breathe, recognize the fact that we're all Reds here. We all want the same thing for this club, and that is dominance, dynasties, champions, trophies, success. That's all we all want. That's all I wanted to see, because this club deserves it, and you do too. So please hit that subscribe button. Drop your answers to the panelist questions if you like in the comment section. Let us know what you think and who, for instance, who's the next signing you'd want to see as a Red. Real quick, Lee, you have something you want to bring to the people that you want to say? I don't know. Maybe Lee has his own show coming up or something.
Just cheers to everyone. Cheers for your contributions. Cheers for tuning in. Hopefully we'll have a couple more new signings in a few more days. How long have we got to wait till the window opens again now?
9 days. Wait, no.
Oh, is it?
No, it was 6 days. 6 days.
6. Okay.
I think 6 days.
Yeah.
I want to say it's the 20th. I think it was like June. I think it was June 10th was the date that they closed, and then I think it was 10 days after that it would reopen.
Hopefully it'll reopen with a bang, for us, and Kerkez will be coming in.
Yeah.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
JK, anything you wanted to say to the people? You got any shows, any great shows coming up or anything like that?
Yeah, just bless up the chat as always. Lee Kid, KJ, Rasta Crab Boys, Mark A. Did we sort out the book with Mark A?
I have the address for you. Yes, Mark A. You will be getting that sent to you.
Yeah.
After the show. Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to coordinate with JK to get you the book, because he did send me his address.
Okay, so then we'll get that done. Nice one.
And it's cool because it's in England, so it shouldn't be that difficult to get to him.
So, man, bless up the rest of the chat, Dustin, Abdul, everyone, bro. Press the like on the video, that'd be much appreciated. And yeah, tomorrow we'll be talking football again. But
yeah. Well, definitely. So there's going to be a little bit of a hiatus. Maybe we might be able to have a couple of guest hosts, maybe. But on Monday to Wednesday, I'm not going to be available. But tomorrow will be, so I'm going to make sure that I have one big show before I take my little break here, my 3-day little, it's not really a vacation, but 3-day hiatus. So definitely join us tomorrow. Definitely join us with good spirits in the heart. It's all about being Reds, and yeah, it's all about sharing the love, I guess. So, as always, I hope that it's an incredible day and evening for everyone out there. And see if I can get that. Trying to get this thing. And most of all, though, I'd like to say to everyone, I hope that it's an incredible weekend for you all. I will be with you guys tomorrow, and hopefully you'll be with us tomorrow as well. So up the Reds, and we'll see you tomorrow.